what's left is right.
All right, what's going on? Saturday morning, early November, pitch black, pissing down rain. Welcome to Vancouver, November through to May, pretty much every year. We got about 600 yards to pump in a hole over that way. So we're gonna walk over that way, and we'll check it out. 38 meter pump right here, as you can see, in the 47 over yonder. We'll check. I almost forgot about something here. Don't mind all the pumpkins. That's another video coming up, which I think you're gonna thoroughly enjoy. We're gonna have some fun with those. But I almost forgot. I've been wanting to use this stuff in a video. It's so dark, I apologize. Let's see better. Oh, there we go. Now we got some light. This boom pump primer from Concrete Pump Supply. Been waiting for a job on one of the bigger booms, and yeah, it's only the 47, so it's arguably a mid-size boom. But I think it's going to be a fairly rocky mix today, so this might be an opportune time to give this stuff a try. Used it a couple times on our 38, which doesn't really need primer with our mixes, but just to kind of get the feel of it. So we'll give her a rip on the 47 meter here today. All right, 47 meter just unfolding here. Challenge on this setup was getting as far that way as we could, as such that the mixers aren't hanging out through the crosswalk into the street. Sidewalk's closed anyhow, so I don't think it matters too much, but ideally we don't want them past here. And they want to keep a lane over there. So if you look from over here, you'll see the challenge. Challenge is they're going to be right out into that area there. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we need to get 2 trucks at a time here. We've got 100 yards, or about 95 yards per hour per pump here. So we want to hammer this stuff out. That's what we've asked for anyhow. I don't know if they have, being a Saturday, if they've had enough drivers in to do that or not, but we'll find out soon enough. Right here we are. We got some lighting. Our lighting director came through. Now this is ironic. The last video that we did with James was, I think it was Super Lube 3000. I think that the Kickstart might put Super Lube 3000 right out of business. Anyhow, so we're gonna do, I think it's half a bottle per prime, because we're gonna go right in the prime port here. I'm gonna use a little less primer. I'm gonna use like 1/3 of a bottle. The review from James so far is that it's really slimy. We like it to be slimy. She's slimy. Something sharp to poke this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. About 1/3 of a bottle. There we go. 4 squeezes. We used exactly 4 squeezes. It's actually not there. 5. That's 1/3 of a bottle. And we'll just mix it up with our water here. What I find with this stuff is it actually gels up really quick. It's not like the old Slick Willy type stuff, which you kind of had to let sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes and this stuff is ready to rock. So we'll top that bucket off with water. We'll let it sit. Oh, it's already slimy on my fingers.
I know.
Already got dirty. Holy.
Right away.
Hey, what do you think would happen if we put a bottle of that in one of the guys' water tanks? Instant goo cannon. Would be pretty funny. Not on our pump, but on somebody else's it'd be pretty funny. Anyhow, we'll let that sit for a bit here and then we'll toss her in. Okay, literally 1 minute later. Let's check our gooiness, viscosity test. We'll let it get a little gooier. You know why? Because we use less product this time. Last time you had like 2/3 of a bottle. We'll let it goo up a little more. We'll get our hose and stuff on in the meantime.
Want to put my rubber on for me? This is going on your OnlyFans.
This is, we're off by a country mile here. This is not good. This is not professional.
Go.
There you go. There you go.
Thought this was teamwork. Still off on the one shot. There you go.
See if I can't catch my thumb in here. You know what we needed there? We needed a third guy. Yeah. Right? It's a three-man job. Oh, did we? Oh, I thought we forgot the safety sling too. Oh man, that would have been an edit. Okay, good. Look at this. Safety sling, safety pin coming in. For the love of all things holy, do not ever put a safety sling on the elbow. I saw that a couple weeks ago. Somebody had done that. I think it was online. Fasten it to the boom. Boom to the first reducer or hose. Not ever, ever, ever off the elbow. Because if this blows out, what's holding it, right? I think I might actually have a picture. If I have a picture, I'll send the picture. But yeah, always, always, always first sling to the boom. So we are using the air cuff. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. The crappy thing on Sid's pump, he's got the smaller cuff that's designed for a 4-inch and smaller hose. The benefit, you can use it to cuff off as small as a 2-inch hose. This one here will fit a 5-inch, but it'll only cuff as small as a 3, I believe. So this one's been rebuilt. Brand new. Yeah, brand new bladder in it. Nice. Okay, it's been about 8.3 minutes. James, pour the primer in. I'm gonna pour it in. We're all slimed up here. It's actually about a third of a bottle at the most. We really didn't use much there. Look at that. What do you think of the sliminess? That is perfect. Yes. So I will say with this stuff, the amount of slime that you get out of even a little bit, because I got a little dab on my coat here, and the rain got to it. The amount of slime produced per volume is unsurpassed. Now all we have to hope is that it'll prime a pump. So if we can do that too, I think we're away to the races. Kind of a key element. And here we are over at our 38 meter setup. We're kicked over this way to the driver's side because there's a minimum outrigger setback from the edge of the excavation, obviously. Let's see how we look here. How are we doing? My estimation was almost perfect for reach. Of course, right where that pipe sticks out on the boom, of course that would line up perfectly. It's not bad. You come this way a little bit.
What's that?
You come this way a little bit.
I don't want to get too greedy.
Just for when they're pouring that area. Just if he ends up picking up a load on that side, we'll have to be careful because the mast will twist that way.
I know, plus I'm doing this the whole time.
That's pretty good. Just have to be keep mindful of it. I've definitely worked closer to cranes, but yeah, you've got to leave some leeway so for when the crane is shifting. At least it's good the boom is already out this way, but this being a luffing crane, if they drop that boom down and pick up a load over to this side of the pump, like I said, it's gonna, that mast will shift over 3-4 inches probably. That's good. We just will reach that corner with a good push on the hose, because from where James is set up over on the other side, he's also short on that corner. I'm thinking about 5 feet. He's way short on this corner. So the idea I think here will be Sid is gonna cover this piece of the pie and James will cover that piece of the pie. The first 10 loads of concrete, they're Kim mix. They have Kim crystal waterproofing in them. So that's all got to go in around the core, which might actually be a little bit slow at the start, which is not really ideal for a larger pour like this. We kind of like to come out of the gates hard and fast, but it is what it is. Setup worked out pretty good. Like I said, the biggest concern will see how the logistics are for getting trucks onto the other pump there over on the 47 meter on the side street. While we're here on the topic, 29-story tower going in here. No, this one will not be a placing boom. We'll probably pump up to about level 6. Once they get to street level, they can reshore their slabs down to the parkade. We'll be able to get a big pump in here and set riggers on the slab on top of the reshore points. But for now, the biggest we can get from this area is this 38 meter. Once that excavator's out of there, we might be able to get a slightly bigger pump in down that way, because they put in extra shoring so they can get a little bit closer to the excavation. Said about the boom on the crane mast, so they're going to pick up their block here, and let's see how much this mast moves. When they put some load on the crane, like I said, I think it's going to shift 3 or 4 inches. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. And that's actually a pretty close pick. He's not boomed out super far. Yeah, we moved about 3-4 inches. So anyhow, just one of those things. Whenever you're working close to the crane like that, you got to keep mindful of where the boom is at, the crane boom, I mean, and if he's making a lift and where he's lifting from, yada yada yada. Definitely not a set it and forget it all day kind of thing, that's for sure.
I down and I turn my work lights on, my pizza goes up. How many do they truck?
And away we go. Here comes the money shot.
Are we doing the video today? If it's not raining, I can't do the video.
Even if it does rain, we do videos. Come on, man.
Eh?
Oh, you mean the drone?
Yeah, the drone.
Yeah, the rain holds off. Drone it up. Yeah, don't interrupt the prime. This is it, James. Whoa, look at that, it worked. We got the concrete from one end of the pump to the other.
Amazing.
Yes!
Well, my job's done.
I'm out.
I'll leave you the remote.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
remote,
That's
I'm
it.
out here.
I'm out.
Just a-
Alright, so we did it. We got 2 trucks to each pump, 2 at a time. And man, oh man, is it tight for this guy here. We actually can't pump that fast, because if we do, we drain this guy right out well before this next truck is even maneuvered back on. So we got 2 at a time, but we kind of didn't. I don't know, it depends on how you want to look at it anyhow. And then over on the other side here, this actually worked out perfect. This is the one I was most worried about, actually. Still got enough for a lane of traffic to get through. Amazing, right? Couple trucks waiting, supply is good. Be out here in no time. The little outrigger foot that lifted up here, we'll tend to that in a second. Not uncommon when you stretch out. What I'm gonna do is I'll drop that one down first, and then I might snug this one a little bit. A lot of guys will tend to want to lift the working side higher. That just makes it worse. It causes that side to want to lift even more. So cinch that foot down first. Yo! Turn your outriggers on for 1 sec. I'll let you know when I'm done in 1 second. Done, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I always do whenever it's picking up one side. When it's getting a little bit light, I cinch the non-working side legs. And not that it's dangerous, it just helps helps smoothing out the boom a little bit. You don't get the chassis floating and bouncing around so much. So she's good now. All right, so we're probably about 8-9 loads in now, and as I suspected, we got a break-in service. Typically on these big pours, especially when the mix changes from a waterproof to a regular mix, as it's going to here, you'll get that first blast of trucks, the first caravan, cavalry, whatever you want to call it, thump them all off, and then now we're waiting for the turnaround. So, and then we'll probably have a little break here, and we'll get another wave of trucks, a little break, another wave of trucks. The ups and downs of these volume pours. But anyhow, I'll check back in a little bit. Not too much going on here now. Pretty straightforward pour. The concrete goes in the hole is about the extent of it. That's the technical explanation of what we're doing here today. Putting the concrete in the big hole. And the way we set this up here is almost perfect. The 38 meter there, Sid's pump, is about 5 feet short from reaching that back corner, so the guys can get it with a push. And James here with the 47, he's about 5 feet short this way, so they can get that with a push. And that's exactly as we planned it. It would have been nice to get a 56 meter in here, but it wouldn't have fit. It is one of those jobs where it would have been nice to have our old 40 meter pump. That extra 7 feet of reach over this 38 would have been like spot on for hitting that corner. It is one thing I noticed between the 38 and our old 40, especially with the 38 having the newer cantilever pedestal, you lose an extra meter of horizontal reach. So there was a significant reach notice, or noticeable difference in reach was significant, shall we say. But yeah, like this thing here is almost identical to our old 36 Roland Fold. By the time you factor in that it has the emissions gear, which spaces the pump kit back on the truck and everything else. So that's just the way things have evolved in the world of concrete pumping. So, all right, a couple hours in now. And this is kind of the theme of the day, no trucks. I guess Ready Mix has a big day. They got another big job going on too. So we could be here for a while. That being said, I'll probably just check in with James here before we head out and probably call it a day. Yeah, it looks like they're about a third of the way finished here, I would say. And I think because of the slow service, they were just going to pour off a little bit more with James. Then he's going to pour some footing and we'll get out of here. And Sid will finish off with a 38 meter. Just like that. It's that easy. I'm leaving. I'm gonna give you something. Contraband. I want a full review. Use it for a month. Let me know what you think. Full honest review, no bullshit. James will put the quick start to the test. And he's normally on the big pumps, 47 meter or bigger, so it'll be a good testing grounds for it, shall we say. But yeah, it's pretty slow here. I think my time has expired. Good news, we got some fantastic drone footage from one of the guys on site. So hopefully I'll incorporate that into this video.